Joe Steinkamp. He's a soy farmer and director at the American Soybean Association. It's great to see you, Joe. I mean, just before we get going here, I see the Wall Street Journal had a great story last year. They quoted you, noting the massive bet that U.S. farmers made on soybeans. You ended up planting an area the size of Montana with the crop, because, of course, you were betting that China would go on raising more and more meat and they would feed the soybean to the animals. So this is a crucial strategic decision the U.S. farmers made to go into exporting soybeans to China.
Well, you know, before the tariffs came on, we were producing 1/3 of our soybeans were going to China. So they were our number one market. And while the tariffs were fully in place and we weren't trading with it, we've been growing the market in the rest of the world. And now with the opportunity to grow again in China, at least back to where we were, plus we're highly optimistic, the grain markets. But at the same time, like you said, we still want to get rid of the tariff situation, and all we've got is a 2-year agreement, so we'll have to see what comes next.
Because, I mean, the likes of Dreyfus and Cargill, they invested hundreds of millions in port facilities or transportation. So it really looks like the American soy sector is built in many ways around exporting to China.
Well, the Pacific Northwest of the United States is set up to send those boxes full of soybeans to China. And then the Gulf of Mexico gets all the heart of the United States to go everywhere in the world, you know, to all the countries.
Talk to us then about this deal. The Chinese apparently are saying we'll buy tens of billions of dollars in American agricultural exports. There is some skepticism that those numbers could be reached, but the tariffs have not gone.
The tariffs have not gone, but the Chinese government has said that they're going to free up the importers to import without the tariffs at the moment. So we're still going to be holding out for the phase 2 deal to complete the tariff situation.
And are you confident? I mean, the Chinese, in that great Wall Street Journal story, they note that the Chinese, well, I guess it's a cliche, but they're said to think centuries ahead. And so they want to make sure they have diverse sources of soybeans. And Brazil has been moving in on your territory.
Oh, yeah, Brazil and the United States are neck and neck in being the number one soybean producers in the whole world. So we know that there are competition, and the American advantage is transportation and reliability.
That's interesting. You just have the great infrastructure in the United States.
Yes, sir. Infrastructure makes all the difference in the world.
So do you think, I mean, just remind us, did we see a big drop-off during the trade dispute in Chinese purchases of your soybeans?
Oh, yes. We went down to 10 to 20% of what we had normally been doing. So you know that our numbers were down. That's why the Trump administration was trying to help keep farmers afloat.
I mean, they're saying, of course, they could change their mind. They're saying that, we're not going to need more aid for the U.S. farmers in the wake of this trade deal. Do you think that's accurate?
Farmers are always about free trade and trade, not aid. So if we have our choice, we just as soon make all our money from the market. But at the same time, the American farmer's job is to feed the world, and cheap, affordable food is our government's known policy. So if that's what it takes, I'm sure they'll do the best they can.
And just remind us on corn exports from America, because soybeans, I mean, I'm talking over the past few decades, have displaced corn in a lot of areas. Is corn still a big export item for American farmers?
We don't export near the amount of corn that we export of soybeans, but at the same time, it's the protein source that everyone's looking for in the soybeans, and they feed those soybeans to chickens and hogs and fish in China and the rest of the world. So we're not only exporting whole soybeans, but we're also exporting them right out on the hoof or in the fish tank.
Joe, thank you so much for joining us today.
You have a great day. Thank you.
Joe Steinkamp, soy farmer and director at the American Soybean Association.